Look at the aggression player now. 9F's going to be moving in himself. 9 Impulse looking for KP.
When you've got someone like Taskmaster who just deals damage for fun, you're always going to be confident, and there's some more damage. I think they might push in for the kill here on set.
Last 2 teams, and they are going to be eliminated as Fire Beavers take home game number 2 here. They swiped away the lobby as they were all fighting in front of them. Their rotation to the northern side of that zone, absolutely vital. And of course, Loba once again having a huge impact on the most consistent. They had the highest win percentage out of groups, going from top 10 placements into win. Loba having a big impact once again down, and Firebeam is showing not only are they going to put points on the board today, but they could be one of the teams to look out for when it gets to match point.
Oh yeah, I'm counting at least 15 kills there for them as well, and I didn't even get to see all 3 players' POVs. There could be more. This could be an absolute mammoth game for them to contest the likes of Underrated, but bear in mind, Underrated had a pretty good game as well. They were able to pick up KP and get into the top 5. They will be edging closer to match point, to edging to those 50 points they were searching for.
Yeah, massive performance from Fire Beavers then, and we'll have to see how those scores do add up now. We're going to throw it back to Kate on the desk to tell us how it all went down.
Okay, all the tests get down.
Thank you, Onset. Thank you, Gaskin. Okay, first question up to Tom. I feel like game number 1, we saw that Revnik comp come into play incredibly with Underrated. Tom, is this game number 2 a real testament to what Loba can do in that late game?
Totally. I love the way that they called that one. I mean, at the end, utility is absolutely huge. Picking up grenades, picking up armor swaps, and also the confidence that Fire Beavers is having over towards that side of the zone, just filtering all those teams over towards Train Station. You see all the players just setting up over towards Train. That means that they're going to have to coexist. And Underrated had the right philosophy, even though they got 5th place. Get some kill points along the way out. No one's going to stop Fire Beavers with their positioning.
They are not at all. I got to ask, Glitter. I mean, this is one of those moments where you take a look at game number 2, you compare it to game number 1, and you say, what's coming up for game number 3?
100%. And I said we had to watch out for these first couple games because they were going to kind of set the stage for what we should be expecting from these teams. And hey, they came in with the heat, okay? Fire Beavers, one of those teams we were definitely keeping our eyes on. And like Tom was saying, they literally outpositioned everyone. They were in the open area of that zone before everybody else that was trying to push their way out of train yard. They had the tiniest of angles as far as height advantage goes, and then they were able to just third party everybody else that had to fight each other as they were coming out of the train yard area. It was very beautifully played by Fire Beavers.
Yes, it was. Well, let's take a look at how good those results are with the Fire Beavers fielding that Loba. Oh!
Whoa!
What the what? Oh my God, that's double dip. That is
Are you kidding me? Amiya is lit, y'all. Amiya is absolutely lit. They are popping off. It started with Underrated. It continues with Fire Beavers. And like Glitter said, they're coming in hot, and they are the Fire Beavers. 20 kills, 32 points. They're speeding this thing up. This is absolutely nutty.
absolutely nutty. I'm telling you right now, I am playing Loba from now on. That is it. I have had enough. Everything is good. Let's take a look here at our overall leaderboards, because of course now we are in game number 2. We've been overall in our gang. Okay, 5 points. We got 5 points between Fire Beavers and Match Point. We got only 9 points between Underrated and Match Point. Glitter, I look at 4 gang up 6. I'm just gonna sit back here, Glitter, and let you talk about some stuff because I'm beklempt.
Listen, there are so many small details that are going on right now. Fire Beavers, Underrated, first of all, were only separated by 1 point of cushion coming into this. So they were already very close. Then we watched them have 2 very similar games here, putting them both within 1 game of match point at this point. What's huge, though, you see the massive point fall-off between 2nd and 3rd place because Fire Beavers comes in with a 20-kill game, because Underrated have a 17-kill game. They're just point sponging all of these kills away from every other team, making every other squad have a longer journey until they hit their own match point. Now Fire Beavers and Underrated even have a mediocre game, they are already in the match point situation, while everybody else is still going to be fighting tooth and nail to get those points on the board. This is insane right now.
And Tom, this is game number 2. We've only played 2 games.
My new favorite word is point sponging. Thanks, Glitter, for that one.
Yes, Glitter.
Let me add that one to my all-time casting favorites, honestly, because that's what we're seeing right now from Fire Beavers and Underrated. And the nails on the head as we take a look at some of these highlights. I mean, what a game. What a start. You really couldn't ask for more. And if you're the rest of these
Oh, shit.
teams, you're wondering what's going on. How after 2 games are 2 teams just a mediocre game, just like Glitter's saying,
Oh.
from being on match point. It's a blink of an eye. You put in so much time, so many hours,
God damn.
so many days to practice for this $250,000 first place, $600,000 overall. And it's just flying by right now because of the aggression that is happening in these lobbies.
Now I gotta ask, and I think aggression we're so completely enthralled, and we have to be with these points. You gotta get KP in order to get match point, and then you gotta win a game. And of course, all of these teams have succeeded at that at some point in our journey here. But I gotta ask, the first 2 teams, they are fielding comps that are completely, wildly different than, not completely, but wildly different than a lot of the rest of the field. How much does that impact? And particularly, I'm gonna start with Glitter.
Oh,
particularly, how much does that
shit.
impact when we see the zones pull in these different directions like we have?
I mean, it's obviously going to somewhat depend on their own individual drop spots, but we saw it specifically with Underrated. They didn't win this match, but they saw themselves in a position where if they didn't start using their totem as aggressively as possible against all of those other teams in Trainyard, then it essentially just wasn't worth it. They were just going to sit there and hold and eventually go down as a team. They needed those points. They knew they were in a solid position to do so, and we saw them with zero fear doing just that. They went and pushed as many teams as they could to make sure that they got some points on the board that still kept them within striking distance of Fire Beavers, who just had an absolutely stellar performance. So generally, if all of these teams are going to be playing on that level, anyone who is a slow rotator or is comfortable playing a little bit more passively until those final moments of end zone won't do well today.
And that is how the cookie crumbles for sure. Hey, I know a lot of those people, our community, are watching, and you're trying to level up your own game. And of course, these pros make it look easy. But if you'd like to know a little bit about how to, perhaps be a little bit more aggressive, perhaps find yourself in that support scenario, well, we've got a great resource. She's on our panel, on our casting desk. Her name is Girl, and she actually has a series we call Level Up with Girl. Take a look.
You've played the game, learned the rope, now it's time to figure out what kind of Apex Legends player you are. Today is for all of you entry fraggers out there. Let's talk about what it takes to become a successful aggro player in Apex.
Let's talk about it.
Hey, take this, follow me. A good entry fragger gets the entry damage while taking less or no damage. Once you're able to do that or get a knock, then you can tell your team to go in. He's 1 HP, Dick. Let's say I'm playing Pathfinder. My goal is to try and be in a position where I can lead the fight. And when we get a knock as a team, I can grapple in and 1v2 while my team comes in and cleans up. Aggressive players have to be really smart in their positioning and great at hitting their shots. They also have to have the confidence to lead the team and outgun the enemy. There are several legends to consider if you're looking to up your aggressive play. Let's start with Octane and Pathfinder. These two are heavily movement-based and can help you get into a great position. Let's talk about my favorite Marvin, Pathfinder. We already talked about using his grapple to finish off a short-handed team, but it can also be used in the middle of a gunfight to dodge shots and get into a better position. Sometimes 1 Q is all it takes to give you the advantage in a fight. Finally, if you're looking for the ultimate aggro legend, you've gotta try your hand at Revenant. The whole point of playing as Revenant is to get into some nasty skirmishes. His death totem is the ultimate do-over, allowing players to push into the fray with reckless abandon. If you're not fighting with Revenant, then you're doing it wrong. They're pushing, I cracked the path. Being an aggressive player is more about team play than you may think. We fight this. If you trust your team, you'll be more confident being aggressive. Like so many other aggro players out there, I need that action.
got me hype. Even if I wasn't here, I would buy because that one got me hype right there. Ooh.
They gotta be
number
within 10 pounds of each other. They gotta be within 10 pounds of each other. Yeah, so this one, this is, go ahead, tell them what's happening.
Oh, what's your thoughts on this one? You don't think?
Taylor was too light and Gibb was too big. Let's see. Oh, okay.
Bout number 6. Things are just starting to heat up. Making his way to the stage, standing at 5 feet 11 inches tall, with 7.3 million followers, fighting out of Seattle, Washington.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah. Sit back, homie, relax, enjoy the track while I kick facts. I can get a lyrical nutsack, it's all whack. What you doing today? You about to get on your ass. Don't know you, I wanna flow, so. Step 1, 2, I'm coming through. Trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Don't know how I say it, but I guess I pray it. So like this, like that. I'ma do it like this, and I'ma take it right back. I'ma tell you right this, and I'll make me as Jack. I don't know my name. Fuck said the same.
To take into consideration, like you're saying, we also have those other 2 groups that are playing. So teams like Succubus, who were in 28th before that last game, they're going to be changing. They're not.
We are 2 games in, and as it currently stands, girl, our top 3 teams, well, they're unsigned. We got Fire Beavers in first, Underrated in second, 4Gang in third. Could you have even predicted a start like this?
I honestly didn't predict a start like this at all, but I've been a really big fan of Fire Beavers and Underrated for a very long time. They have really unique comps, especially when you're taking a look at those Octane, Gibby, Bloodhound metas. So I'm really a fan of seeing some unique comps.
Yeah, I just tweeted that out. The first two winners of the first two games are off-meta team compositions with Revenant and with Loba. Never would have thought we saw that as well. And we'd love, of course, to hear your thoughts as well. Make sure to tweet using hashtag ALGS. Tweet at us at Follow with 2 T's at Hey Girl. And, of course, you have a chance to get featured on a stream. We want to hear your thoughts, though, on these team compositions. Gameplay, what are we seeing so far? We, of course, are breaking down as much gameplay as possible here. Going into game number 3, but we know we got a lot of smart community members out there, so we'd love to hear your thoughts as well as we get ready. Dropship is loading to jump into game number 3. And girl, the key storyline here, well, Fire Beavers 5 points away from that illustrious match point. If they can secure 5 points and win a game after that, well, they'll put themselves in a good spot. Underrated 41 points right now, 9 points away. Both of those two teams 1 game away with relative ease here for match point.
They might take this game a little easier. As we've seen, they had a lot of kills in their previous games, and now maybe they'll play it in a different play style, play it more securely, be one of those teams to get those 50 points before anyone else. So we'll take a look and see how that works out. I know Fire Beavers really likes to rotate early and get a great spot. I've been watching them in the group stages last week, and we're going to take a look and see where the zone pulls off in this match. It could be the deciding factor for whoever gets match point first.
Yeah, that's right. We see 2 northern zones so far. Of course, the hot zone here will be in Countdown, where T-Rex likes to drop. T-Rex, not the fastest start for them. They got 18th place and 15th place, so they'll need that extra loot. They'll need a big game here as we jump on board with the champions so far of this lobby, Fire Beavers. And what a story from this team. Of course, you have Sunset, former member of Gambit from
How is
Russia,
this not
Impulse
so
from Belarus.
funny?
This is one of our CIS squads dropping over in Fragment West, so that allows them to rotate early, playing Valkyrie, Loba, and Gibraltar. Helps them get good positioning, and then, of course, use Loba to their advantage to scrap in late-game loot from anyone else in the lobby. It's a huge opportunity. And if you have 2 Loba teams, Third Impact, of course, is the second Loba team, but we get to see Fire Beavers to start for the first time here on their Fragment West path.
I really love watching their use of Loba, getting those extra armor swaps late game, getting into fights. They're mechanically skilled, so if they end up getting enough damage on one team, they're able to just quickly armor swap without even healing and then push or defend themselves appropriately. And it's so interesting to see this team play.
Black Market is down. They'll be looting quickly here, and then they can hit that Valkyrie for a quick rotation. That's pretty much the benefit here of their team composition. Meanwhile, Aqualix, who plays Fragment East, well, they're already out. One of the fastest rotating teams, if not the fastest rotating teams from Fragment East. Aqualix, though, have started a little bit quiet here. 12 points overall, and that was including the 5 or 6 that they got coming into this. They got a 5-kill game in 12th place last game, 15th place and 1 point for kills in the game before. So Aqualix currently sits in 10th. And if you look at these standings here, as we take a look at Solo Q Goats just looting up, it's kind of fascinating. Alliance, Aqualix, Gambit, so many teams that you'd expect. Third Impact, 303. A lot of these teams you'd expect to maybe be in the top 5, top 7. They're currently outside of the top 8.
Yeah, something coming in from these bottom 10 teams is that they're aggressive. They're going to try and want to catch up with those top teams and get their points and maybe excel and exceed everyone else's expectations. So a team like the Solo Q Goats, they've got a long way to go. The map is going to pull south this time between Launch Site and Sorting Factory. It could even end right in between those 2 POIs. So take a look in the map to see. It's going to be really rough if it ends Launch Site, because Launch Site is one of those places where there's so many different chokes and it's really hard to get in. Some people just decide, hey, we're going to get some kill points and move from there. But there's so many places in Sorting Factory to hold. In Sorting Factory, it's so many buildings, so many different rooms. It's going to be interesting to see this one play out.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this is a very favorable zone for Gambit. Every time we've seen a southern zone, particularly the southeast zone, Gambit farms the lobby. They obviously need that after 2 really slow games to start, getting 17th and 18th place, I believe. Good first shots coming through from Leogri. His teammates already have purple shields. He's looking to level up his Evo shield as well. Question is, will they take this fight? This is kind of those fringe moments where you can maybe take an early game fight without risk for third party because teams haven't rotated yet, but obviously it's high risk, high reward because teams might be looming. Looks like Gambit, who likes to play aggressive, will decide not to take this fight early on. They'll slow play this, and they're going to be content sitting on top of Factories here over in Sorting Factory, which is their drop spot. Gambit hasn't moved a whole lot. They're predicting a northeast finish here for this southeast zone.
Yeah, and it's very smart for them not to fight there because so many people are going to be rotating towards Sorting Factory and they're a bit mid-zone. And, there's always going to be a few teams that like to rotate early right off drop. And, oh my goodness, shots are going off in Flavor of the Month with their first knock on Paradise from 303. They're going to get that quick dome res, but will they be able to shoot through that dome? Not yet, but the nades go through. Will they be able to pass through those nades is the question.
I love those nades predicting the push from the team and the rotate. They want this fight. They like this fight. Taylor, who tends to be the tip of the spear for this Flavor of the Month squad, leading the way, but they're going to do just enough damage with the thermite to slow him down. Not sure which team that was, but a good job avoiding. It was 303. Okay, from guys. Yep. Good call, girl. A good job from them avoiding what could have been a dangerous squad wipe coming from Flavor of the Month.
Luckily, they weren't able to shoot through that bubble because I seen a little bit of that Gibby outside the bubble, but fortunately for him, the bubble was secure. And they're going to take a look to see if they could catch them on the other side of that choke. But now moving on with Scars, Mandy has to heal up. Mandy was at about 30 HP there. They're stuck inside the trailer. Maybe not the greatest place to be because you can get pinched from so many teams. But fortunately for them, they're okay for now.
That's right. Not the best loot, though, for them. It's a fast rotation, though, coming through from Scars. As we know, since they started playing Valkyrie, they're really, really quick to rotate. They, of course, drop all the way in Overlook, the northeast side of the map. The fact that they're really one of the first position teams over towards launch site, very impressive. Good rotation from Scars, and they've honestly been looking pretty solid so far in their game. They're currently in 4th place with 20 points, which it's hard to believe it. How much of a deficit they have to 1st and 2nd. Fire Beavers and Underrated and just so far ahead of the pack with 45 and 41. 20 points is the 4th place team, which you think would be a little bit higher than that as we jump on board with Reply Totem Esport Italian organization, featuring 2 French, Jay Savage and Amaz, and of course, Sharp from Italy.
Yeah, Reply Totem Esports has been very consistent throughout the group stages, each day over 50 points. So this is one of our most consistent teams throughout each group stage, meaning that no matter who they fought, they were able to pull out a great day, a great game, and we're in the middle of the pack there. So we're going to see some great things from them. Les Cités de France actually putting in a lot of damage over here. We're going to see a lot of damage coming through with the R99 from Joke, but unfortunately he's not going to push up on them just yet. Until they're flying in the air, they're trying to get those shots, but they do not connect just yet.
That's right. Speaking of the French, we got Les Cités de France on screen right now as they are playing Edge, known to play Edge quite often over towards Fragment. Meanwhile, Na'Vi on board with them right now. Of course, this squad got formed a few months ago. Navi's been in Apex since the very beginning, and 9 Impulse, actually, on the Fire Beavers, used to be part of that Na'Vi squad that performed under expectations throughout the summer circuit early on in competitive Apex. They since picked up Max Strafey from Nasky Strafe.
Yeah. I don't really know what to say. I'ma say it anyway. Hey. What's your name? What's your name? Fuck your face, like I'ma take it all to the daylight. I'ma take it all, can you feel it, right? I don't really know what you're saying right now. I'ma take it right now. I'ma take it out there. You're the fucking bitch, and you know it. I'ma take it all, can you show it? What's your name? Oh, what's your number? I'ma take it all back. Can you wonder? Can I call you back like fuck your bitch ass? Shit, you don't know me. Oh shit, man, can you see? I'm taking it all. Can you feel like me? Can you feel like this? Can you feel like that? Number one, number 10. Oh shit, man, I'm a step back. You couldn't even sit right from when the balloon I got. Nah. Only fans, only one I can do like dance. Oh shit, can you do it like dance? Oh shit, can you make like brand? Don't know your flavor. Oh shit, man, I guess I'm on my best behavior. Do it like this, do it like that. Rap attack, y'all smack down. This motherfuckers just don't know how to get down. Don't know me. Yeah, fly free. You don't know me. Fly free. Do it like me, like. Yeah, you know like me. Oh shit. Fly free. Don't know me. Fly free. Don't know me. Yeah, fly free. On a knees. Suck it, bitch. Please, please. I don't do whatever you want gonna be. So shit. "26 years old, but looks 18. When the fake boobs are long hair and that pussy's so clean. On 12, I again, I'm a fucking machine. I'm a supreme leader of the crusader. I wanna be, but now I'm driving a two-seater. 3 kids in the back. That's 5 motherfuckers looking for outback jacks. Just to go back in the house for more and more hours. To more fucking shotguns and more fucking flowers. Now they're going to bed, you can finally get that rest. Get that water reserve, prime time, get the shit off your chest. Sit back, relax, but she doesn't give head. Get your awake, oh shit, kill your mama's the best. See, I tried and tried my very best for you, but that was only 22. What the fuck was I to do? I did you more favors than anybody else. Thought I was a kid playing with the sins and cells. Go, just let it be. Why don't you be you, and I'll be me? Everything is broke. Leave it to the breeze. Why don't you be you, and I'll be me? See, I thought it was helping you and giving you more time to unwind from work and maybe have a silent wine. Now the X is on Skype, yielding all his fucking heart while I'm cooking dinner and resetting the Wi-Fi. Now fuck this, I'm done. I'm out, it's finito. My cash of sugar mama went from hero to zero. My views keep coming. It's faster and higher. See, I'm only the distributor, I'm not the supplier. Your jealous behavior has got me feeling even stranger. The fire gets bigger if you're seeing the danger. No need to be complacent, you've already made your statement. I'm trying to put my feet forward, my hands adjacent. I smile and I'm patient, but while I'm wasting away, if you didn't like me then, but why didn't you fucking stay? Yo, I put a lot of effort in, and yeah, you always mentioned him. I got love for the kids, now I'm sorry I'm here. Go, just let it be. Why don't you be you, and I'll be me? Everything is broke, leave it to the breeze. Why don't you be you, and I'll be me? And I'll be me. Everything is broke, what I'll be me. Back, relax, and enjoy the ride. These motherfuckers are riding too high. These motherfuckers just don't know how to ride. And I'ma take it on the sideline while I'm too riding. I take it on the limelight. And I'ma do this like that. I'ma take it all, can you ride it right back? I'ma take it this and I'ma take that. So don't know what you're doing like that. Like that. Like that. undefeated, undefeated. I don't defeat it. I don't know where I'm going, but I'll be treated. I do it. I guess I'm destined. I reckon for the best that I mentioned. Do it for the greater things. Yo, I better sing. I better do it for these motherfuckers that be better singing. I ring in for the best. You don't know why they're gonna get that, and I put it on my head like it's the best. It's the crest. It's like do this, this like a less. No. Yeah. Yeah. Change is the only constant. When the offset, when she gets switched up a pace to know the concept, to the prospect perspective of what it is. Tension is prominent, best one to ponder this. Often friendship drifts in the opposite direction to positive unless you acknowledge it. State steps on it, it's shit. I remember us as just a red snotty shit chopper kids. In the younger days used to jump a train, underlay, for God come run away. If it come of age, some things can't stay the same. Safe to say you keep my heart, make the face, and I ain't in your work, man. I have to understand about how you can stand and handle on the continent as well. Huh? Bitch about my music, this verse for you. Even if you never listen to it. Hey, how you doing now? How you been? Shouldn't be this hard to say what I mean. I've been doing okay. I've been doing my thing. I've been going my wave and chasing the dream. Hey, and how you doing? How you been? Shouldn't be this hard to say what I mean. I've been doing my day, I've been doing my thing, not going my changing my dream, not changing the dream like. Changing the dream like. No, I thought it was the other. I thought it was TSM stuff, but it's not at the moment. It's not. Whoa, Superior. It's the R99, it's just too fucking fine. Whole shit, yeah, I guess it's sublime. I don't know what to do. I'm backed in the corner. I guess I'm gonna do what I do. Yeah, I got the fucking hack. I got the fucking Magnum. I'm here to fucking run. Yeah, I smoke. Yeah, I smoke it up. I toke it up. Great. What the fuck? I'ma do it right down. Whole shit, man. I'ma live it right now. I'ma do this, yeah, I'm feeling pretty great. I guess all I got is the either fucking 8. I'ma smack, pow with the motherfucking shotgun. You know I'll never fucking run. I take it all. These motherfuckers won't fall. Yo, I take it all. Got the R99 and the either 8. Whole shit, yeah, I guess I'm feeling pretty great. But I be feeling pretty lonely. I test you only. Whole shit, man, got me feeling late. Got the R99 and the either 8. Whole shit, yeah, I'm feeling great. Motherfuckers don't know me, I feel mistakes. But I'm too close, yeah, I'm feeling great. Oh shit, I guess I gotta get him. I guess I gotta get him with the fucking let him. I guess I gotta go, I guess I gotta flow. But I just don't know if I'm gonna go. Got the hemlock on the single fire. Oh shit, man, I'ma live it on the right. Oh shit, man, I'ma live it on the side. Cause it's the left side, but I'm living too right. The right wrongs, the right is the song. The right is the end and the breaks, am I wrong? At the right side, it's always the wrong. Or the wrong side is always the right. I'm on my side. It's suicide till I die, and I'ma take it too high. Oh shit, man, I'ma live too blind. Live it too sublime, I'm on the sunlight. I'm feeling pretty right. Oh shit, man, can you do it? Can you ride? Oh shit, man, I'ma live it on my line. Oh shit, man, can you get it? Can I ride? Can you ride? Sun high, sunlight. Oh shit, I'ma take it on the line. On high. Yeah, I got the motherfucker, I got the fucking wing, man. You can't even see me, man. I'm a big man. I'm a big man. You can't see me cause I'm looking like these visions are pretty clearly like, oh shit. I'ma take it, I'ma get him. I'ma get him, I'ma Smith and West, I'ma let him. Nope. I should do like a mad like. Do like a mad. I got the wing, man, and you're a ding, man. You can't even see me, man, cause I'm singing, man. Definitely gotta do like a. I gotta do like a wingman, sing man, ling man, the ding dang, the ding dang, the ding dang, I swing man, I wing man, the ding dang.
The pack here. 4Gang's just been doing such a good job playing consistent throughout, girl.
Fun fact that they've made top 3 in all 3 of the games right now. So 4Gang are actually feeling themselves right now. And now on board with Gambit, they're trying to get that respawn before the zone pulls in, and they will be able to get that respawn off. The zone will move very, very slowly, so they will be able to recover. They got the armor swaps out for their buddy there, Artico, and the zone will be moving in slowly. So he'll have to loot a box really fast.
Yeah, wow, that's huge. If Artico can survive here, loop back up, which he will. Artico is back in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a full-blown 3v3v3 fight here. Alliance is just going to sit back and hope that these two teams fight first, and they will. Alliance going to be the third of the party. Gambit putting great shots in. This team's getting angled by both Alliance and Gambit. That is a sandwich you do not want to be a part of right now. Hardecki's going to knock one in Phoenix, and Vice is looking to follow through right after. The defensive bombardment ultimate from Gibraltar is going to come through to keep them alive for now. They will get the revive off, as Gambit doesn't want to push this just yet. They'll be back to full forces. I don't know if they'll be able to get heals off on time, though, as they're going to get tagged up quite a bit, girl.
The nade is going to come through. Alliance not taking too much damage from the nades. And Gambit is going to jump down. All 3 squads still up. Alliance taking those thermites. They're trying to look for Gambit here because Gambit is the team that has the bubble last one remaining. They're the last one to use their bubble, so they're going to get pushed in this bubble. Vice taking down Row here. And oh my goodness, Artico trying his best to survive. He survives. Alliance going down. Hawk is going down. Legit Lolly also going down. This is Gambit's game to win here. He's pushing with the Eva 8. He's looking in the bubble. He takes down one. Can he take down the last one remaining? Yes, he can. Gambit Esports is the champion for game number 3. That was insane.
Gambit fans, stand up as Gambit goes huge. That is the perfect endgame fight for Gambit. They love those 3v3v3 pure Slayer fights. Who can perform the best in those pound-for-pound fights? And Gambit typically tends to be the team that does. Hardecki pops off, was the overall kill leader in that lobby. Girl, that was at least 8, 9, or 10 kills, if not way more than that for Gambit. They drop Sorting Factory. They get a favorable zone. Solid zone as well for Alliance coming from Thermal Station. That was a must-perform game 3 for them to not let that deficit from first, second, and third place grow too large. That was huge.
Paulo, you called it from the beginning. They have a slow start like TSM, and then they were able to pull it off in our game number 3. You called it from the beginning. They were going to get their comeback. They got all the points that they needed to come back. Let's see who's on match point.
I can't wait to see who's on match point. That is the Gambit special, ladies and gentlemen. Starting a little slow, but then popping off in game number 3. We'll see how many kills they got and where they're at overall in the standings as we throw it back to Kate, T-Squared, and Glitter at the desk.
Thank you, girl, and thank you, Fallout. And of course, we will see who is on match point, if any. And I will say, unfortunately, we know Underrated will not be, because that game, while it may have started as a long and winding road, it definitely escalated towards the end in a third-party knockout. So, Tom, let's start off with what we know, which is Gambit comes in slow, but boy, do they make themselves known here in game number 3.
Well, let's start with that Beatles reference, and that's why I love you, Kate. But that was, if you love Apex, I love Apex, because holy cow, what a game. Sorting Factory is just so fun to watch. And Gambit, just getting that res onto Artico right there is huge. You need the bubble. The shots were amazing, but the teams that started off with a lot of points in group stage started to heat up in game 3. And Glenn, we were talking about the first 2 games. Now we see game number 3, the tables kind of turn a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I noticed in that game, too, is that it was like all of the other squads knew just how close this game could or couldn't be. This is the first game where we didn't see any squads going down early. It was definitely a little bit safer play style. No teams were going out on those rotations. I mean, here at the end, we saw Alliance with an insane position up on the tracks that they were able to hold for a long time before they had to push down onto the low ground. But generally, people were alive longer in this game. They were making smarter decisions and being a little bit more conservative in an attempt to make sure that no free points were given over easily to Underrated or Fire Beavers, and it actually worked. We saw Underrated go out first with literally 0 points, and Fire Beavers went down soon after, so this could shake up the standings a little bit.
Yes, it could. Well, let's take a look at what the math tells us. We got shocked the crap out of ourselves in first. Okay, what? Okay. What?
I'm speechless. I honestly, Glitter, please take this one away, because these points are just getting out of hand right now.
Okay. So somehow, Gambit decides that they want to be in our trio of insane amount of kills for the day. 18 kills onto Gambit Esports. That's a massive game for them. But Alliance, like I was talking about with that position up there in the tracks, 12 kills for Alliance as well. Massive amount of points going down for them. 4Game was actually only able to play for position the entire time. 3rd place finish with 0 kills, but still being consistent as far as their placement goes. But we're all the way down in 4th, and we're still in double-digit kills. And this is that point sponge that I was talking about, because look how hard the fall-off is into every other team from there.
Tom, speaking of fall-off here, there's one team that's definitely not on this list, and it's called Underrated.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Fire Beavers, it just wasn't their time. And it's just because these teams are starting to heat up. They're saying, no, it's not going to be that easy. We're coming to contest. And look at now, the points just flip. It was like, okay, there was only 2 teams involved here. Let's look at this. And also, 4Gang, I love that girl called that out. Top 3, all of the games so far, they're starting to heat up, but unfortunately just not picking up the kills, not being a part of that point sponge that we're talking about.
Point sponge. There it is. That's the one. Thank you, Glitter, once again. And let's take a look now. Now we're looking at. I mean, conceivably speaking, we got 3 teams that are within match point eligibility. But let's of course not sleep on 4 or 5 or 6, because if anything, these teams have shown us that they can come in with double digits on these games. Now let me ask. Our first winners were obviously Underrated. They were fielding that Revenant comp. Our second, Fire Beavers. They were fielding Loba, of course. Let's talk about game number 3 and Gambit. What can you tell me if their team comp is that? What did that have to do with anything here, Tom?
It's a fighting team composition, and if you were watching what I was watching, the tracking from everybody was just insane. Everyone's hitting wingman shots, R301, the EVA 8's just popping off. I don't know if I saw a missed shot that entire last 5 minutes.
Myself included. In fact, let's take a look at some of those highlights. Maybe you can spot one. I doubt you can, but this is where we're going to go with this, Glitter.
I mean, we saw just how aggressive the teams got once they decided to fight. I don't know how Underrated ended up being the first team that we did see caught out there by Scars, but this was a solid showing from Scars, and we did see that they were able to get a ton of kills as a result of this game for them, and they are another one of those teams that we had our eyes on during the entire group stage because they were, top in their group. Now, towards the end here, New Esports was one of those teams that we had hoped would have a stronger showing here, Tom, and it's been a little bit of a slower day for them.
Yeah, and let's talk about the positioning for a little bit, how Alliance was able to hold the top of the bridge for quite some time, and also Gambit was holding the top of Sorting Factory. So those are really two power positions where you have to hit your shots, you have to have a presence. And then Alliance sends it down towards the blue trailer. They start clearing people out. They're picking up a lot of kills along the way. And Sorting Factory, we saw how tight this was. And like you were saying, Claire, there's no free points here. This lobby was extremely tight the entire way through, and then things started to pop off, and you could see just shot after shot. The big thing here is the mobile respawn beacon. Getting Artico back into the game, getting that bubble towards the late game. You need that in these type of situations, and also forcing the third party. But we saw a mini fight break out. Things slowed down, and then it started to pick up again. And fortunately, again, for Gambit, they just were not missing their shots.
No, not at all. And oh, sorry, go for it, Glitter.
I was just gonna say the foresight that Gambit had to have that mobile respawn beacon, it was easily the deciding factor that played into their win. The ability to not only bring their third player in, but they had all of his stuff there. The death box was ready. All he did was quickly loot up, and then you combine that with their positioning over everybody else, and the fact that they were able from the beginning to pinch for gang down, so that they really only had to worry about Alliance, who was using their utility that entire time they were helping with the fight against Fort Gang. I mean, that was such a good play by Gambit.
Yes, it was. Made it look easy, I think, which, of course, we know this lobby means it is anything but. But speaking of lobbies, no, couldn't tell you, whatever. At any rate, we actually have a nice announcement to make, brought to you by Lenovo Legion, the official PC and monitor here for the ALGS. Well, as we've been seeing all throughout our play here, you've seen that they've been giving away a Lenovo Legion monitor. That's what they've been doing this whole time. Well, guess what? We got the winner right now to announce. A huge congratulations to Rachel F. from Australia. I know I should have put some drum rolls on there, Tom. Thank you very much for helping me out with that. But Rachel F., congratulations. GG, you won a Lenovo Legion 44-inch ultra-wide monitor. All the better to play Apex on, my friend. So good job there for sure. Now we also apparently have some tweets. Let's talk about the community because you've been talking about us. So hi to the ALGS EMEA Championship final. That might be new to Apex, but I already love this community and game. Well, huge thank you for watching us. And of course, welcome to the pack. There it is, enjoying themselves some Apex. And looks like some Bloodhound there if they're going to be playing. Oh, come on.
That's me right now.
That's Tom right there. He's got it. Watching Apex Legends. And we've got some ship fans there as well. It's my top 5 prediction for ALGS. Okay, without an order, here we go. Gambit, new esports and Alliance. What do you think? Glitter, thoughts?
I mean, very, very close so far. That's how the games are slowly starting to play out, maybe with the exception of new esports right now.
That is true, unfortunately. Well, that is all the time we have here on the desk. Don't worry, we are jumping into our next game here in our Apex Legends Global Series EMEA Super Regional Championship Finals. My goodness, it feels good to say the first time, and it'll feel good to say every single other time. And we are going to be throwing it over to our fabulous cast and crew. But first, take a look at this, and we'll see you right back here when you're done.
What is up, everybody? T-Squared here, and in front of me I have a Lenovo 7i gaming laptop. This is the official partner of the ALGS. The specs are absolutely ridiculous for the form factor. This is only 5 pounds, and the full HD display is absolutely insane. It's 15.6 inches, 1 millisecond response time, and you're going to pump out 240 hertz on this bad boy. That's better than some of the gaming monitors that I have in the back.
They are getting focused indeed. The thermites are going to hit, which is going to melt their armors. Hardeki's just going to tank it a little bit, go for that battery, but oh no, they're getting Crypto Ultimate, and there they go. Artico down, Gambit, Leogri down, and Hardeki no armor. He can't do anything here, but get away with 1 HP, takes the portal.
And he's going to take that portal right to a T, puts in work. Oh my goodness. Hardeki just went huge. He just pushed 3 members of T-Rex, caught them off guard, and was able to take out every single one of them in the 1v2. Hardeki with 5 HP, a sliver in a dream, pops off with the EVA 8.
I can't close my mouth right now. That was the most insane thing I've ever seen in Apex Legends. Holy smokes.
and a Johnny Adiola wanna roll with a geezer. You see me on the left, I see ya. Actually, I don't give a shit. I'm a rapper now, might as well live in it. Smoke up in my hotel, billing it. Do what you like, darling, hardly don't give it. Still get brain when I smoke cigarettes. White boy wasted, coke get away. But my big brown in love roll with his ex. I'm a English boy, but I'm so bloody lit. Yo, Tizzy, my killie, I'm litty and birds, and nobody comes silly. Pull up in the AP, can we get it?
That was such a bad title, honestly. It was a good title for the people that knew about it. Oh my god. You get priest. Oh my god. Oh my god.
My dad built a ramp for the dogs to get into his truck.
How does the first stage get reused? Well, have you seen how the Falcon 9 stages work, where they come back and land? No. You haven't seen it? No. Wow.
My dad built a...
How does the first stage get reused? Well, have you seen how the Falcon 9 stages work, where they come back and land? No. You haven't seen it?
Running away with that race towards match point format.
Three teams very close to match point indeed, and depending on the Gambit, as they already have 3 points to start with today, so they're already 6 points off first place. They are very close to match point. I wonder whether Underrated and Fire Beavers might have missed their opportunity of just having that extra bit of a head start against some of these teams that do take a little while to heat up. Gambit, a slow first 2 games, just showed really nothing. 1 KP, no placement points, and then suddenly they explode. When they get a circle that works for them, boy, do they execute flawlessly. And now, going into game number 4, we've got 3, maybe even 4 or 5